Thursday. So, I mean, I just take as much time as I can, whether that's, in the morning, whether I'm...
The drama surrounding the Indiana Fever's $78 million bombshell and the race to build a WNBA dynasty, asterisk. There are days in sports history that change everything. Not with a championship ring or a buzzer beater, but with a bold decision one so seismic that it shifts the future of a franchise and sends tremors across an entire league. July 2025 marked such a day. The Indiana Fever, a team long overlooked in the hierarchy of the WNBA, unleashed a bombshell that was equal parts announcement and declaration of war. With one calculated move, they didn't just put Caitlin Clark at the center of their future, they made it crystal clear. This isn't about playing catch-up anymore. It's about domination. The Fever didn't just announce a practice facility. It declared an era. The blueprint was precisely $78 million. Investment in what's already being called the most advanced women's basketball complex in the country, maybe even the world. But behind the architectural mock-ups and futuristic amenities lies something more.
Their coaching staff has done a tremendous job.
Dozens of campers from all around.
More important, the emergence of a franchise ready to stop asking for respect and start demanding it. Because when you put Caitlin Clark at the heart of your vision, you're not just designing a building, you're designing a legacy. Clark, just 22, already carries the aura of a generational talent. Her arrival sparked a tidal wave of attention, quadrupling attendance and turning Indiana into the WNBA's most-watched story overnight. She's not only shifting how the game is played, her influence is changing how it's built. And the Fever are doing everything to honor that, placing her at the center of a plan so comprehensive that other franchises are now scrambling just to keep up. The facility, which is set to open before the 2027 season, will include 108,000 square feet of basketball innovation.
Angel Reese taking more shots at Caitlin Clark unnecessarily.
2 full-size courts, 24/7 access, state-of-the-art strength and conditioning spaces, infrared therapy, elite recovery resources, and even mental health support systems. It's not just about better training, it's about holistic excellence. Will even be a podcast studio and nail salon on-site, allowing players to focus on performance without sacrificing identity. This is what investment in women looks like. And Indiana is setting the standard. That standard begins and ends with Clark. But it doesn't rest solely on her shoulders. Caitlin Clark may be the face of the franchise, but the Indiana Fever's long game is about more than one player. It's about constructing a super team capable of reshaping the entire WNBA landscape. Surrounding Clark is the burgeoning star Aaliyah Boston, a player whose control of the paint is almost authoritarian in nature. She's the defensive anchor and physical presence that gives Clark space to dazzle. Beside her stands Kelsey Mitchell-Deadly from the perimeter, recently awarded a 1-year Supermax contract.
Caitlin Clark needs to do something to stop all this when it is very clear this is a one.
And now, officially, the 5th player in team history to receive the core designation. That move alone signaled Indiana's intent to lock in their elite and build upward. Not outward, but they're far from finished. Satou Sabally, the dynamic forward with all-star talent, has already played her last game in Dallas. Add to that the Fever's active pursuit of Gabby Williams, a versatile, defensive-minded player with big game experience and leadership to match, and the pieces for something historic are falling into place. This isn't just roster construction, it's empire building. The Fever are wielding $650,000 in cap space like a scalpel, cutting through the noise and carving out a lineup that could become the most feared in the league. And every move is intentional. Caitlin Clark's rookie contract expires in 2028. Aaliyah Boston's ends in 2027. The new facility opens that same year. Coincidence? Not even close.
Back at LSU, did Caitlin Clark make Angel Reese hop up off the bench?
This is a synchronized symphony of preparation. They're not just setting the stage for a run, they're preparing for an era. And while Indiana's front office meticulously assembles its future, the rest of the league watches with a mix of admiration and fear. Because this isn't just a team building better facilities, or signing high-profile players. This is a cultural shift. The Fever are redefining what it means to invest in women's sports. Where other teams share practice courts with children's birthday parties and yoga classes, Indiana is designing a sanctuary for champions. They're not asking players to fit into a system. They're building the system around them. Lisa Leslie called it what it is, a model of how the WNBA should invest in its stars. And fans aren't just noticing, they're showing up in droves. Fever home games feel different now. The noise, the buzz, the energy's palpable. Caitlin Clark hasn't just brought eyes to the franchise. She's elevated the expectation.
Recognize their business as they would if Caitlin Clark was there. The surrounding restaurants, the surrounding area.
Her chemistry with Boston is electric. The kind of on-court bond that shifts defensive strategies and forces mismatches. Opposing coaches now prepare for Indiana like they're playing a playoff team every night. Behind the scenes, player development coach Keith Porter has been working relentlessly with Clark to elevate her already elite skill set. From extending her shooting range to developing counter moves for every defensive scheme imaginable. The goal is simple: make Caitlin Clark unstoppable. Not just as a scorer, but as a floor general, a brand, and a beacon for what women's basketball is becoming. And with every passing week, it's clear the Fever aren't chasing a single title. They're chasing immortality. This is a new WNBA, one where talent alone isn't enough. Vision, infrastructure, and culture are now equally essential. The Indiana Fever have understood that earlier and more thoroughly than anyone else. They're not patching holes or hoping for a Cinderella run. They're building a juggernaut brick by brick, dollar by dollar, and player by player. They're daring the rest of the league to match them.
To get Caitlin Clark to come on to New York, and I think that'd be a great destination.
If other teams don't move quickly, the gap may become too wide to close. Because once Indiana adds someone like Sabley or Williams to a core that already includes Clark, Boston, and Mitchell, the equation changes entirely. What's forming in Indianapolis is not just a contender, it's the foundation of a dynasty. One that could dominate the league for the rest of the decade and beyond. There's something poetic about it too. Caitlin Clark, a once-in-a-generation talent, arriving at just the right time to inspire a movement bigger than herself. She's not just making highlight reels, she's making history. The Fever aren't just benefiting from her presence. They're matching it with an ambition worthy of her name. In a sport where women have too often been asked to accept less, Indiana is offering more. It's more investment, more belief, more support, and the result is undeniable. A franchise reborn, a league awakened, future rewritten. So the question now isn't whether the Fever can win a title, it's how soon and how many. Asterisk, what do you think of Indiana's master plan to build around Caitlin Clark? Could this be the next WNBA dynasty in the making, or will another team rise to challenge them? Asterisk, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to stay up to date with the most dramatic stories reshaping women's basketball, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. The revolution is happening and you won't want to miss. What's coming next?